Hey second graders, how's it going? So today's videos are going to be about math lesson 2, which is the two-step word problems. These problems are very similar than the ones we saw in our previous lesson, except they have a little bit more information, which means we have to use the two steps in order to solve them, okay? So if you go to Google Classroom, you will find your assignment called Math Lesson 2, two-step word problems. When you click on the one with your name, the document you have to work on, something like this will appear. This is my example, which you can also see in Classroom. Now, in this one, the first thing it says is, watch my video. You're doing that. And then you're going to have to do the independent practice, which is solving the 6 word problems by following the instructions, okay? Now, the instructions say that the first thing we have to do, and let's read them right here, it says, solve these 6 word problems, highlighting the key word that will help you identify if it's an addition or a subtraction. Then write the data, operation, and the complete answer. Look at the examples to understand. So I'm going to answer the first example, A, okay, and then I'll answer the others, okay, so you guys can see what you have to do when you're working. So this one says, Little Red saw 15 birds in the sky when she left her house. When she was in the woods, she saw 7 birds. She saw 9 more when she got to Grandma's house. How many birds did Little Red see in all? So the first thing we have to do, just like last week in our math lesson, is make sure what are they asking us, okay? We need to find the key word to know if it's an addition or a subtraction. If you take a look at this one, always the keywords are usually in the question. That's the important part of word problems because that's what they're asking us. So in this one, the question says, how many birds did Little Red see in all? Now, in all is a synonym or similar to total, okay? So they're asking us, how many birds did you see in total? So this would be our keyword, okay? So we can highlight it right here using this guy. And that tells us that it's an addition problem, okay? So we highlighted our keyword and know it's an addition problem. Now let's move on to the data. What is data? Data is the first step. Here you're going to put all the information that they give you in the problem that you might use to solve it. So for example, if we read our problem, the first thing it says is that she saw 15 birds in the sky. What else she saw? When she was in the woods, she saw 7 birds. So 7 birds in the woods. And finally, 9 birds at Grandma's. 9 birds at Grandma's. Now, I know that that's my information. Now, in this case, they are asking us, how many birds did Little Red see in total, in all? So all I have to do is add these, okay? Now, I recommend you to add by only using 2 at a time, okay? So first, I would do the operation of 15 plus 7, okay? Which is if you do it, in your little papers, 5 plus 7 gives me 12. And I take 1 over, that's a total of 22. Now, are those all the birds? No, she also saw 9 birds at Grandma's. So now I take the 22 that I have and I add the 9 birds from Grandma's. Now for 22, I add 9, that gives me a total of 31. Now that completes my first and my second step, hence the name two-step process. First, we gather all the data, then we do all the operations, and then finally, we need to write our complete answer. Now remember, guys and girls, when we are answering a word problem, our complete answer is not just 31, it's 31 what? If we look at the question, they usually tell us what they're asking for. How many birds did Little Red see in all? The answer to the problem, to respond to that question, would be 31 birds, because that's the number of birds she saw, okay? There, I would be done with my first word problem, okay? In my next video, I'm going to answer another example so you guys can get a better idea of what your activity has to be like, okay?